Welcome back, and time for news, and it seems that fans of bike racing are in for a treat over the coming year. Last week we told you about MotoGP Unlimited, which is a documentary series from Amazon that takes a look behind the scenes of last year's MotoGP season. On the back of that announcement comes news that the Isle of Man TT races will have much more in-depth TV coverage than ever before in 2022. On top of daily review shows that will be available for free, there will be a pay-to-view service that offers live coverage of the racing. The first time that's ever happened. So if you're interested in that, then come early June, you'll be wanting to go to iomtt.com to treat yourself to the maddest, most spectacular motorcycle racing action on the planet. And that's not an exaggeration. Thanks to COVID, fans of true road racing have been starved of their Isle of Man hit for 2 years now, so I expect the 2022 resumption of the event to see some truly great racing. On now to new models, and if you are, and I hope you are, a regular viewer of the bike show, then you'll know that over the past several episodes we've shown you a series of new models that have been created in collaboration between an established manufacturer and a second party that usually has nothing to do with bikes. We've seen these kind of things before. The one that sticks in my mind is the 007 James Bond version of the Triumph Rally 900, I think it was. I know we were all really into Bond as kids, but I must admit I did find it amusing that such brand alignment and the endorsement of an entirely fictional character could actually help sell an expensive adult means of transport. But I'm no marketing expert, and simply because the addition of some decals and a spurious link to the hero of a book that was first imagined 80 years ago would never persuade me to suddenly splurge a couple of £100,000 or more on a bike is obviously neither here nor there. But it keeps happening. Brabus has strayed from dressing up German cars and charging ludicrous amounts of money for the pleasure to doing the same for the very first time to a bike, with the help of KTM, who supplied the model to have some new lights and trinkets fitted. And then last week we discovered there's a new version of Ducati's ex-Diavel called the Nera that has been graced by the presence of Italian interior designer Poltrona Frau, I think it was, who have provided a fancy seat and a keyring to adorn an already excellent bike. And now Triumph is at it again with a collaboration involving Breitling, the watch people. There's now a Triumph Speed Twin Breitling limited edition that gets a range of shiny new bits and bobs, including Breitling themed instruments to go with a retro inspired blue paint scheme. I'm not against the idea of buying special parts to bolt onto your pride and joy. It's just this whole limited edition numbered keyring special stitching in the leather seat kind of nonsense that bewilders me a little. If you buy your limited edition Breitling Triumph before the end of August this year, then Breitling will very kindly allow you to spend a shed load of extra money to purchase a numbered limited edition watch of some description. I have to say, if you ever go somewhere on your new limited edition Breitling Triumph and show anyone your matching limited edition Breitling watch, then I'm sorry. There really is no hope of you ever being anything other than a complete and utter loser who deserves nothing less than to be late for every meeting forevermore for the rest of your life because your watch loses time and your bike's always breaking down. Right, now I've got that off my chest. Well, I mean, what's next? A special limited edition clip drift Kawasaki H2 with a gold-plated breathalyzer kit and a hand-stitched leather visor for your clip drift branded helmet. And that's not to pick on Clippies, by the way. I like the branding a lot, but I don't want their branding on my new Kawasaki or my limited edition helmet. Okay, I'll stop now and move on to our next item of news that concerns some new models, some of which aren't actually that new. Let's start with Gas, who are about to announce their first street-legal bikes. These are the Spanish off-road masters who, like Husqvarna, in fact offer slightly re-engineered and heavily rebranded KTMs. Their new street-legal models, there's two of them, will be 693cc in capacity, though they'll be labelled 700s, and can you guess what these single-cylinder engined models will be? Of course you can. a supermoto and an enduro using the same KTM engine and more than likely the same chassis that Husqvarna borrowed for its 701 supermoto and enduro. They will undoubtedly be very good and a different colour to the Husky and KTM. New models, what else? KTM has a new version of the base 890 Duke that is to be called the 890 Duke GP. To have earned this special designation that ties it in with the MotoGP racing efforts, we have a new Tech 3 inspired paint scheme, orange wheels, and a seat hump, and, well, that's it. No performance parts whatsoever, which of course is what MotoGP is all about. The show, not the go. Not? What is up with the world at the moment? Even KTM, once reliably ready to race and as hardcore as any manufacturer could ever hope to be, even they are succumbing to this mind-numbing wave of marketing tripe that is swamping us with specials that just aren't that special. I don't mean to be rude, or maybe I do, but all of this strikes me as cheap, lazy, and most of all disrespectful to a clientele, you, that is actually very well informed and extremely passionate about the products on which they are intending to spend their hard-earned cash. They need to stop, they really do, and you're probably saying the same thing about my ranting, so I will. Maybe some of you agree with me, or maybe you don't, but hopefully one way or the other I've got you thinking about bikes and the increasingly tenuous marketing the manufacturers are using to sell them to you. So I'll leave you with those thoughts and let you know that we'll be back again next week with a touring bike, some mountains, and a few caterpillars. See you then.